We'll just cut all that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hoping that Seeker's going to throw up the provoke. And he
Oh,
gets it
there we
up.
go. Yeah.
So I need to now target.
Oh, you need to put it on ×2.
Yeah, that would be much better.
Yeah, and then yes, and then if you switch back and forth, and that's probably your best bet here with Seeker and trying to get your most damage out of it. Personally, I'm just gonna. Oh man, that sucks. I hate decay.
Like, what did he just do? I missed it.
No. I was just thinking as far as like that's going to be your best bet for this run. I thought I did
something wrong already.
No, you're totally doing everything fine. You're smart in maybe bouncing back and forth between, targeting. Once you get the Voke on, go back to Torment Head, and then kind of go back and forth between those two, because that will be, if you have Ishmael in the team, your best bet when it comes to getting
some higher
most
damage
benefit of Ishmael being in the team, because
so they're all Voked
now. Yeah.
So that's taken up a bit of time here, but we're staying alive pretty well. Oh my gosh, dude!
What?
I forgot somebody who's really important in the team. Mustache Man. What's his name? Sigmund.
Yeah, Sigmund.
Darn.
Definitely nice. Man, they're getting hit really hard, really quick. Like
they are definitely.
What's his nuts done already? Seeker.
Hopefully, Arbiter's gonna bring him.
Seeker's still alive. Who's that? Fushan.
That's Fushan.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Surprised he died so fast. He stays alive
pretty good. He does. He's built quite strong. So
I will say the good, at least the benefit, and this is sort of what was going to be one of my suggestions.
Okay.
Before you got underway.
The bird was trying to fly.
That, it wasn't like the greatest of ideas putting Arbiter in the lead, because she's going to get the turn meter boost from Ishmael.
Oh.
Because she's in the lead. Like, the lead spot gets the turn meter boost.
She doesn't need it.
So usually you're going to want that on like a damage dealer or somebody who's going to be in charge of provoke.
See, I flew too close to the sun here. I don't think this is going to be the key I think it's going to be, but I'm going to let it run. We're going to let it run and see. And it's going to be legit. So let's see.
Yeah, but we're definitely free regrouping.
What if I want?
You can't let it stand. It ain't even going to get to a mill.
You don't think?
No, there's no way.
Why is it Arbiter raising anybody?
That is a good question. I'm not sure why she hasn't raised anybody yet. You might want to take it off auto for a second and see if you can't get a raise going or something.
Well, now she's
maybe the fear. Maybe that's what it is. The fear's catching it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's down too. So she tried to use it and it got feared. And the problem with it is true fear.
That's
so it hits the cooldown as well when you try to use it. So yeah, this is Hydra is just a pain. It really is.
So this is a bit harder. The past 2 weeks I've done really well with damage. As I said, I thought I was progressing as a whole. But I mean, there's some tweaks that I can do to make this run a little better. We're gonna let I'm just gonna let Theodore here find his way out, and then before we go to Ken's team, I'm gonna let him do a regroup and pick a team for me that he thinks might do a little better.
All right.
So Theodore is slowly dying.
Just make sure at the end you hit free regroup and not keep result or whatever it says.
All right, so Theodore is just.
He's doing good staying alive though. I like what I'm seeing there.
He's got some good resistance going on.
Yeah, so boom, free regroup.
Okay, so what are you thinking?
All right, now, like I said, who you're going to want in the front is who's going to be in charge of doing like a lot of work.
Okay.
For your team with Ishmael in it, and I'm pretty sure he does.
He does.
Provoke, right?
He does AoE provoke. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
That way you can stay targeted with somebody with provoke like this that has AoE, although it's still on a 4-turn cooldown, but I think we'll still be okay. We're going to put in Seeker to back him up anyway, just to be on the safe side, I think.
Wait a minute.
Well, actually, no, we don't have to do him or Seeker. We can do somebody else.
Seeker's the best dude at backing him up.
Seeker's the best, but I'm going to use somebody else because I don't
you
think
don't use Vizix. I know.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to
you
put
obsessed with Vizix, but it's your turn. It's your turn.
Brings you AOE slow as well. So we've got attack down, we've got slow, we've got 2 forms of provoke. We know Ishmael's going to go in a team, but I'm going to put Ishmael back here. And I'm also going to see, let's see. No, I didn't think so. Okay, well, that's fine. But I want Sigmund to get the boost from the speed boost. Like I said, you either go with whoever's in charge of the provoke or your damage dealer, kind of depending on what you have in your team and what you put out. But I think here, because his cooldowns aren't reliably enough, we're gonna want him in the front spot so he can get back the round of his turns as often as possible. And then we're gonna have Ninja in this mug because there's our damage. Also, we're gonna have. And didn't you? Okay, you just 6-starred Akoth, I thought, right?
I did. He's not leveled up.
He's not ready to go yet.
He's like 30. He's got
okay, so
gear.
We're gonna put him in. Mordecai, and then I would like to see.
I think I can't give you suggestions. I want to give you suggestions. It's hard.
We need some kind of raise heal type thing going on right now. So. Your Arbiter's probably going to be where we go with that. I like Syl in the role too, but I like the AoE of Arbiter. And you don't have much else because my favorite is Ursula, although this team doesn't really need Ursula anyway because you've got Sigmund with the AoE attack down.
What does she do?
The AoE attack down that goes along with it.
Okay.
How many people does she raise at a time?
2.
Just
2
2
allies.
Okay, so but she's a good Melga is who I was pointing at.
She's
a good
raise,
option, but we'll just go with the Arbiter for now because I think that'll be our best bet, really. So yeah, let's see what you're
gonna do.
All right, first I want to go in. we gotta do some skill stuff though. I gotta make sure.
So it's what's to beat? It was $7.99, right?
Look, there's almost the team right there that we already had right here. But who did I put in? We had Sigmund and Vizix we put in instead of Cancer. So where are we going here? We're fading out?
We had, Vizix.
Okay, no, it was the screen was getting dark there, I think. All right, so come back to team setup. Take him here. All right, take him out. We put in Siggy in the front. And then we put in Vizix, and then put in Ninja, and then we put in Mordecai. And the reason why I want to try to do them in a certain order is Ishmael's turn meter will go from front to back basically in this line, but in those positions he's going to boost turn meter. So when Sigmund is eaten or dead, Vizix will then get the turn meter boost.
Okay. And so you really have to think ahead about it. Because you're going to have team members disappearing, reappearing, and
right, exactly. Yeah, you got to kind of get, have things sort of planned out.
Let's see if you can get to a mill. I couldn't.
Isn't that funny? With this symbol on her, with that. Oh, okay, that's why the symbols haven't changed. I was like, he's got a bull that's a provoke, but her bull is not a provoke, but it is a provoke. There it is. That's what I was looking for. This one I want to go as the opener. If I can get it to change there. There we go. Because I want his provoke to go off first, and then her, after his provoke wears off, to come in and throw in a provoke. And then hopefully by the time we get back around, Sigmund will be ready to go, and they'll keep cycling in that form. Okay. So that's how we want it to roll. And then Mordecai, I like to turn off this Time's Undoing, just because the reason why I turn it off, and I mean, with you, I guess you don't have him in reflex, right?
I don't remember what we
I don't think you do. I don't think you've got anybody really set up in reflex. The reason why I turn it off, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it off just because I don't think it's that useful anyway. I mean, it is a little bit as far as turn meter boost and such, but the reason I get in the habit of turning that off is because I have him in a reflex set to try to have him doing his AoE more often. And okay, there we go. And so, yeah, here we go. And then all we're gonna have to do, because Vizix and Sigmund are both AoE provoke, just target Torment and let Ishmael do his job. Everybody else will do their job, and hopefully we'll come away with a 1 key.
All right.
So that's what we're hoping for. Let's see. Did we get it? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
So we're just going to let it run.
So we're going to let it run, and we're going to hope that they do well. We've got a provoke already on decay. I'd love to see
a mil on my key, so you got to.
I got to beat 750 some, 60 some K or something. If I get 800K, we'll be all right.
That's right.
And they're going to get 800K, I would imagine, before the first turn.
You think so?
Or at least by the first set of turns or whatever.
Yeah, he changed.
Yeah, because they're already at 350. There's 400. I mean, they're already halfway there. So and only two of them are taking the turn.
They've got a lot of debuffs up. I like that.
We've got HP burns. We've got poisons all over the place because Ishmael must be in a toxic set, which is fine. I set mine up in a toxic set as well. Thinking about changing that up just into a taunting set, because I was kind of thinking maybe to have him
taunting is kind of like the thing that's in vogue now.
Well, it's because like provoke is just basically, in order to have a good run that is based on HP burn as damage, which is this team, and Ninja's already dead, which is just sad.
We might want to look at Ninja regearing.
No, because he's in. He said we got him set up okay. I'm just surprised by that, but it's kind of okay because I would imagine he got the first snake bite.
Oh, you're closing in.
Yeah.
And you beat me.
Yeah, that was no problem.
All right, that was such cockiness, dude. Such cockiness.
I don't know why they don't have black buffs in this team. That's the thing you're missing in this team. If you had, instead of
Rian,
Arbiter, Ugo.
Yeah, but I don't.
In that spot, then this team is
what if I had
magical?
Everybody. Well, we're almost at a mil. That's pretty good. Generally, up until the last few rotations, which I think were a little easier for who I have on my account, I had really started doing a few millions more, which was great. Maybe like 5 million more damage on 1 key for normal. But this one I think is going to be harder for who I have. Do you think that? I mean, I feel that it already is.
I think like Ishmael is basically like your guarantee to have at least one pretty functional run, like to do all the things to try to get. You're at a mil, as long as one of our provokes are going to come up to get on decay by the time we get back around to before he goes, right? Because that's the thing. That's what I say. It's that provoke is the key for the run to continue in a functional manner. Because if it doesn't, he starts throwing up shields and cleansing everybody, and all your damage is based on debuffs.
That's really the most important thing.
Yeah, so we got to provoke back on him from Sigmund. That's why you put Sigmund in the lead, because you keep seeing all these turn meter boosts. He's going to get back around, even with it being on a 4-turn cooldown.
And can provoke.
He's going to keep provoking, and really, once you get it on a 3-turn cooldown kind of a deal with him, you may even be able in this setup to not bring Vizix and not have to rely on a backup, because he might be able to, because of the turn meter boosts.
But it stays there pretty much all the time. Yeah, like it's down now, but let's see.
Back up
it's
because,
right back up.
Well, I don't think he put that up. That was I think that was Vizix, because her
life is pretty low, but she's got some shield right now. Yeah. She needs a heal.
And that's why I say, like, she's got to come in and back him up.
Ninja's back, right?
Only because I think it's on the 4-turn. If it was on 3, I think.
So I mean, we're getting consistent damage. 1.3 right now.
Yeah, I hate that Ninja is dying so quickly and easily, just because he, if allowed, he will bring you lots of good damage, but he's basically just getting up to die.
Right, he's dead again.
And that's a tough situation. Because you don't have a lot of backup heal in this team. All you've got is Arbiter to keep you healed.
Well, no, you do with
Sigmund doesn't heal, does he?
He shields, so I guess that's different.
Shields is nice, but it's not going to catch you back up when you're dead. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He's got no real heal mechanics.
Kind of like
raise his HP back up.
Physics had a main shield, but when that shield died, she was dead.
Yeah.
Like when the shield was gone. So.
Yeah, making Physics tanky is definitely a plus.
Mm-hmm.
You can get her to get some damage going too, though. I will say, like trying to get
your
that
Physics does damage.
Yeah, you can get some work done with her for sure. And if you get her, if you're able to build her all around.
I love when that happens. Just get it. I wish it was burning.
Right. Problem is,
we don't want to target the head.
Well, no, I mean, it's still targeted.
It's
still targeted anyway. I'm just wondering when that provoke's going to come back up, and it's not. So there's a cleanse. But because Physics is dead, so see that's why I'm saying like that he needs a backup because he can't keep it up 100% on his own. And now this is the problem you run into when you're relying on.
Okay, Ishmael is eaten.
Well, when you're relying on Ishmael's turn meter and stuff, once you lose the Head of Torment, so you target him and you get a bunch of bonus, but then once you lose it, you're like, oh God, now I've got to try to get through until it pops back up.
Who am I going to get?
And you didn't even get it. And so now he becomes relatively useless, but he's eaten anyway. But you're still, that's probably a good idea to go ahead and target him to try to get Ishmael back. But, hopefully they'll at least get a provoke up on, the cool guy over there on Decay, and you'll be able to continue on.
So we're closing in on 2 million. That's not bad for me.
Yeah, when heads start popping,
okay,
that's when it starts getting, this is tough as far as now they're weak hitting on Decay.
Why are they weak hitting?
Because he's got the poison cloud on.
Oh, okay, yes, the infamous poison cloud.
Yeah, which is why I was saying Ugo would be great because she brings the block buffs. Deliana also, once you can kind of get her going, wouldn't be a bad option for game 2 to bring in. And maybe instead of, see, who do we bring in? Or who's Deliana coming for? Deliana, like, that, and that's what I'm trying to get tested out with mine here fairly soon. Back. But we're getting owned.
Hey, though, with this particular rotation where you have the provoke so strongly in play, it's hard. It's hard for the people.
It's all, and that's what I'm saying. It's all normal and hard Hydra teams usually rely on burn to do a lot of the damage, and so keeping him provoked is just that's your buffs on. Just cleanse them off, throwing those shields around.
From my doing basically 788 or 780 damage, if that, to 2 million, I'm pretty happy with.
It's definitely and it just goes to show not only champion selection, but with this particular run, rotation where Ishmael comes into play. Damn, they just all got one shot.
They did. They just took it down. Oh, I'm definitely keeping it. Right. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. With this rotation, I usually don't do 1 million, much less 2. So,
that's a pretty good start. We got a third of the way there.
Key. All right, so we're gonna.
Well, let me just, as far as I thought I was saying,
sorry,
location or placement of your champions also matters because you want to be cognizant of who's going to get the turn meter boost from Ishmael.
Which is really important, as we saw. Like, it actually acts like you might have, it makes Mustache Man work a little bit like he's got more books than he has. It kind of brings that turnaround soon, or the cooldown. So it's very important. It doesn't get talked about a lot, I don't think.
But that's the key for Ishmael. All
right, well, we're going to sign off, and we will see you with Ken's Hydra and see where we go. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.